Welcome to another terrifying episode of Abyss of Horror. Today we delve into the world of hunting, but not the kind you might expect. Forget the common game, and think instead of a predatory realm where the roles can shift in the blink of an eye. Here, in the dense shadows of the Appalachian wilderness, even seasoned hunters might find themselves prey to something far more sinister. So, tighten your grip and listen closely, for in this story, every whisper of the forest might just be a warning.
When you spend your life as the hunter, the concept of becoming the hunted seems laughable. That's what I thought anyway. I've hunted in the most remote forests, stalked game through the harshest conditions. Nothing prepared me for that weekend. The weekend I felt fear. Real fear. My latest hunting trip took me deep into the Appalachian wilderness, where the only sounds are those of nature, or your boots crunching over fallen leaves. After setting up camp and double-checking my gear, I was ready to go. As I made my way deeper into the forest, I realized something was off. The usually cacophonous backdrop of animal sounds was almost eerily absent. I dismissed it. Big mistake. I reached my chosen spot, a secluded grove perfect for tracking deer. I hunkered down, rifle in hand, and waited. Minutes stretched into hours, but not a single creature appeared. The silence, once mildly unsettling, now felt suffocating. It's as if the forest was holding its breath. Just as I considered packing up, a twig snapped behind me. I turned swiftly, gun raised, but saw nothing. Then another twig snapped, this time from a different direction. My eyes darted around, trying to penetrate the dim light. Nothing. Panic started to crawl up my spine. No, this couldn't be. Hunters don't get hunted, I told myself. As if responding to my thoughts, I heard it, a guttural growl, so low and close it seemed to vibrate through the very air around me. I was officially freaked out. Gathering my gear, I started to head back. But then the realization hit me. I didn't know which way back was. The trees looked the same in every direction. The forest had swallowed me whole. I chose a direction, praying it was the right one. That's when I heard soft footsteps behind me. They mimicked mine, stopping when I stopped, quickening when I quickened. My own footsteps were suddenly so loud in my ears, a desperate drumbeat that I couldn't silence. By now, my imagination was in overdrive. Was it a rogue hunter messing with me? An animal? No, it couldn't be. Animals don't stalk, not like this. Every so often I'd hear that low growl, each time closer than before, each time vibrating through me until it was all I could feel. Then, in a moment of absolute dread, I stepped into a clearing and found myself back at my starting point, the same secluded grove. It was like I'd been walking in circles. But how? I was sure I'd been going straight. I felt a shiver travel down my spine as if cold fingers had lightly grazed my skin. The footsteps had stopped. The growling had ceased. There was only silence, a silence so profound it was almost deafening. Feeling exposed in the clearing, I decided to move back into the tree line for cover. But just as I took my first step, my foot landed on something soft and fleshy. I looked down and my heart almost leapt out of my chest. It was a deer carcass, freshly killed. Its eyes had been gouged out, its belly ripped open. I didn't stick around to consider what kind of animal, or worse, what kind of human, could do this. I ran. I ran without direction or purpose, driven only by raw, primal fear. I didn't stop until I burst into a different clearing and saw my camp in the distance, my sanctuary. I made it back, packed up, and left without looking back, without daring to glance into the darkness that surrounded me. I never reported it, never told a soul until now. Because who would believe me? So, I'll leave you with this cautionary tale and a piece of advice. If you're ever in the wilderness, and you hear a growl that seems too close for comfort or footsteps that mimic your own, get out. Don't think, don't rationalize, just leave. Because out there, somewhere in the depth of the forest, something was stalking me, hunting the hunter, and it's still out there, waiting for its next game.
If you're as captivated by the mysteries lurking in the shadows as we are, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Abyss of Horror for more tales that'll send shivers down your spine. Until next time, remember, not all who wander in the woods are lost. Some are just being hunted.